Hello, everyone. So this is your second choice for your choice project. This is again 40 points towards your final grade. And what I have here is something that you will be um, contended with as a special education teacher. And very much these principles can be applicable to any educator for your functional behavioral assessment. So, for this assignment, I'd like you to use the observational data that I described to develop a plan to conduct a functional behavioral assessment. So, thinking back, you're delving into the why of the behavior. As a special education teacher, it will be crucial to collect data and develop a behavior support plan. So, oftentimes, this may be executed by a behavioral specialist appointed by the local education agency. However, um, many times special education teachers would assume the responsibility of designing a behavior support plan collaboratively with the team or the behavioral specialist. So that would be the purpose of this assignment. Again, similar to the progress monitoring, I've embedded a helpful resource related to the FBA process. And I think I may have given a hard copy of this out in class, just to guide you as a reference and the steps. So, similar to other scenarios, after reading the scenario, if you need to fill in some of the blanks, that is completely appropriate as long as it is related to an FBA and a plan. So, I will open that up again. So, using a case study or a piece of literature, students will apply their knowledge of FBA by defining behaviors, determining the frequency of the behavior, noting antecedent behaviors. As we know, that is what happens and what occurs before an observable behavior, the triggers, the setting, the function of behaviors, and by writing a behavior improvement plan that includes what will be done, who will be responsible, and how progress will be monitored. So here is the case study pertaining to your FBA. According to data, Liam has experienced 5 elopements with an approximate duration of 30 minutes each. These elopements include hiding under his desk on 3 instances and crying while slapping his head 3 out of the 5 times. So I'd like to define what an elopement is in terms of the behavioral world. So an elopement is mainly what happens in that fight or flight response. Many students would externally run, literally, and escape, try to escape the situation. Many others would act in a more aggressive elopement. And then others would perhaps internalize and mainly just shut down during an elopement. So, as a special education teacher, you would need to be equipped with some skills to observe maybe what is happening before an elopement may take place. Maybe slumping of the shoulders, or an academic test, or a demand. So, that would be part of your FBA. So I will continue reading your scenario. So when Liam perceives a task as difficult, he will stare into space, and showed difficulty beginning his work. So that initiation of work is an area for improvement. Liam is new to his school, and these respective elopements have occurred over a 4-month time frame. These elopements often take place when reading and writing are required. Liam has qualified to receive special designed instruction in the areas of both reading and mathematics. The IEP team would like to obtain additional data on how to best support Liam in his behavioral and emotional needs. So in this situation, Liam has already been identified as a student who can receive special education, and now it's time to devise his plan based on an FBA. So here is classroom observation number 1. Liam was observed in his 3rd grade classroom during independent work, morning meeting, movement activity, and a language arts lesson. During independent work, Liam worked with a partner on a project. They worked on their laptops to look up information. They worked on their projects for the first 5 minutes and talked quietly. Next, the teacher asked the students to return to their desks, get out materials that they needed for later in the morning, and moved to the carpet for morning meeting. Liam quickly went back to his seat and took out his materials. After this, the teacher told Liam that it was his turn to randomly choose clothespins with names of students from the name bucket and clip them to the front of the envelope. Liam did this and then sat down with the rest of the students on the carpet. During morning meeting, the students were directed to answer an either or opinion question, 1-to-1 around the circle, and give a special handshake to the person next to them to signal it was their turn. Liam listened to other students and answered his question. After everyone had done this activity, the teacher praised Liam and the other students that were on task and told them that they could take a Hershey Kiss from the jar when they were leaving for recess. Next, the teacher had the students do a movement activity. This consisted of going to various people in the room and doing various body positions. After this, the teacher explained the language arts worksheet and highlighting opinions, reason, evidence, and opinion in different colors. Liam listened to the directions. Next, the students were directed to find their partners and begin the assignment. Liam found his partner and then began to work on the assignment. Here's additional data that I'd like you to read through. Here are some additional data points. So in this situation, you will find that perhaps some of these classroom observations may have Liam on task for most of these classroom observations. However, I want you to turn back to the fact that Liam experiences durations of elopements. So I'd like you to develop your FBA and then use that data to then devise your behavior intervention plan. As always, as I've said throughout the semester, please use your resources from earlier in the semester, any tools that have been embedded in modules, your Spinelli texts, and any other additional information that you could use to support your project. All right, I am looking forward to reviewing your FBAs and FBAs and behavior plans. And best of luck.